I think it's awesome, and I have one of my favorite people in the world. She comes from the marketing space, and she would be on these teams. Uh, the only black girl in the room is it was a blog that she had started years ago, and
Right.
she'd be a part of these conversations, and the just the ignorance of approach or ways to communicate. And
Mm.
these were projects that were for pretty big companies, and they just did not have the the experience internally, and she didn't always feel comfortable enough sort of speaking up. Can you talk about the importance of diversity? And for the record, you know this, I know this, but for someone listening or watching, diversity isn't just about uh, throwing, a couple of black people on a team, right? A woman on a team. Talk about what like the importance of diversity and the type of diversity that helps organizations culturally, but also from a bottom line standpoint.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a noun, diversity is the state of being diverse or having variety. And so I would say, it's important for people to understand that it's not just this, number one. And it's also oftentimes not something we can control. For example, I am a fair skinned Black woman, and there's no changing that, right? And diversity is also a practice, it's something that you do. And what I feel it should mean on a personal and a societal level is that every part that makes us different from one another is considered valuable and should be valued by others. That there's a respect for those differences, whether that's nationality, ethnicity, religion, gender, etc. And for organizations, they really having diversity in the workplace is so very critical. It makes all the difference. If you look at any of the statistics, I mean, there's certainly a strong business case for diversity. Um, and, I would say that in the 21st century, there should no longer exist or even desire that we exist as a monoculture in any environment. Homogeneity, where society emphasizes or de-emphasizes aspect of one's identity, really just results in assimilation. And that's never good for an organizational culture at all, because if you have a group of people who only think alike and who feel alike, then you're kind of you're missing the mark as far as who you're actually marketing to, right? Unless you are somehow or another in some geography, in some nation where everybody is the same, and you're only marketing to that direct same dynamic of people, cohort of people, well, then that would work for you. But for most companies, you're opening your products and your services to whomever is interested in consuming them. So why would you not have a workforce that properly reflects that? And again, going back to seeing the value in the diversity of perspectives that come to the table and what that actually looks like, and the benefits that an organization is able to leverage from that. When you get people who come from diverse backgrounds, have diverse lived experiences as well as educational experience, come from different geographies, whether that's within the United States or abroad, you get people who think about problems differently. They look at things from a different vantage point. Those are going to be the people that can help you to ideate on a whole nother level. Those are the people that are going to be able to look at a problem and see things from a different perspective than those who typically are sitting around these decision making tables can look at, because they understand it from a different experience level. Those are going to be the people who are going to help you innovate on a whole nother level, that are going to help you tap into new markets for the products and the services. So there's such value in having a diversity in the workplace, that there are a plethora of statistics out there that show that it improves competitiveness, it improves productivity. I mean, it's just the benefits are really countless. So it's a critical component of today's ever growing workplace. And from a consumer standpoint, that's exactly what consumers want. They're not okay anymore with just a company who provides a particular product or service and it's good. They want to know about who are you behind the scenes. We see this with big brands, right? You think about Nike and some of the other brands that have taken stances on things to say, like, listen, this is who we are, this is what we represent. Well, you have people who are sitting there saying, like, oh, I'm so mad about this, I'm gonna burn my Nikes. And you have other people that are like, okay, Nike, I see what you're about. And therefore, I will take my consumer dollars and I will spend with you over another brand. And we see this constantly in the evolved marketplace. Consumers have choice, employees have choice. And so, who you are in the deepest part of your brand identity matters. And so, diversity is one of those things that have come to the surface that people are looking at to say, from a vision and a value system and a mission, who are you? And unless you align with what I may want as a consumer or a person seeking a job, talent, if your value system and mission don't align with my own, I'm going to stage left, or I'm going to go, work somewhere else. I'm going to buy somewhere